what your idea is, we're going to pick one of them, and we'll go through the process of, okay, we got this idea. Now let's think about the concrete ways that we start building a business, think about our product, and what we actually do to make it a reality, right? So let's start with you guys. What was your idea on product?
Okay, our idea was to create a system that helps people who are struggling financially budget their money every day, budget their money. So every monthly, this system breaks their money down into a category of how their lifestyle is. So, and according to their job. So what they can save, ways they can invest and make more of the money that they make, and basically how much needs to be spent in each category.
Got it. So we'll call this budget tool. Awesome idea. Next one. You guys?
Take it. StartOut. Audio engineer.
Speak louder.
That would be a service. What do you want a product, right?
Whatever your business idea was.
Audio engineering.
Audio engineering? Right? You guys?
Safe and accessible transportation for trans individuals.
Right? And you guys right there.
We thought about a website that has organizations to help fund young entrepreneurs.
Smart.
I know, I'll also
People slash.
Okay, so these are all really, really great ideas. Oh, sorry. Are you guys have the same clue? Okay.
So well, we're missing Brooklyn, who's our entrepreneur guy. But basically, we had a service for connecting performers with paying gigs, people who need educational programs to the programs, and just in general career services as well.
So I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Initially, my idea was to have you guys kind of vote on which idea you wanted to pursue, and then we'll build it out from there. But, luckily for me, I'm going to cheat, and I actually have seen a company that has done just this. So we're going to go with that one, because I know it really well. Alright? So, not the best number of great ideas, but I'm giving myself a little bit of a crush here. So, alright, so there's two things that I want you guys to come away with today. I think that when you think about building a product, there are kind of two major things you have to keep in mind. One is talk to a lot of people. Talk to a lot of people, because each of us are only one person. We only see one life, one experience. And the best way you build a product is by saying, hey, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? There's wisdom in the masses. And to get more advice from a lot of different people, that will make your product better. The other thing that you should remember is say no. The easiest thing is try and say yes to everything, and then you get this product where, what if you scanned your receipt and it got the date and it told you what's in your fridge, and then you can fill the recipe, but you also know what's expiring, and you get this Frankenstein product that's like, well, what the hell is this? Like, I don't even know what this is supposed to do, right? So the best way to build a great product is say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do this. All these other things are really great ideas, right? But I can't do everything. I'm only one person, I'm only one entrepreneur. I'm only building one product. And that's the thing I'm going to do. I'm going to do it really fucking well, right? So when you think about a product, talk to a bunch of people, get a bunch of advice, and then you say no. So I'm going to take you through the process about how you think about an idea, how you think about a product, and how you kind of framework out your thinking so that you can do that in a time-effective manner. Okay? So the product we're thinking about is a service that connects performers with gigs. Right? Now, the idea they have is a bit broader, but let's just go with that. Now, what does this thing need to do? Very specific, very concrete. What are the things that we need in order to make this a reality? So the first step is lay out features. Right? And I want you all to just kind of throw out ideas. There are no bad ideas. Just what does it need to do? Right? If you have a platform that's going to have performers and then gigs on one end, gigs on the other one, and it's going to find ways to connect them, what do you need? Yes. Connections. Now, what do you mean by that? Be specific.
People that can connect with performance.
Speak louder. Sorry, you need connections. What you need content information, right? You need locations. What else do you need for connections? Anybody? Yes.
We need approval, from both parties.
Sorry? Approval.
We need approval and probably insurance that the people who are saying that they're going to do the show are actually going to show up, and the people who are paying the artists are actually going to, actually going to pay them. So
Right. So you need some sort of bank account information and contracts.
Unless you're just going to be the middleman, you're just pretend.
Right. Other things you need for this service to work well. Yes.
Some investments.
Pardon?
Some investments.
Investments? What do you mean by investments?
For people to invest in and stuff. I mean,
That's true. We do need investors. For every company, we do need investors. We do need capital. But when we're thinking about just this product, just the thing that we're going to go out to market with, what else do you need? Performance. We need people on the other side, right? All right. Yes.
Oh, when you say either side, you mean managers too? And all that good stuff?
Well, yeah, so we'll need the managers. So we'll need performers on one side, right? The people doing the work. And then we need managers or the people with the jobs, right?
So the theaters and the bars,
Yep.
and the places where they do the gigs?
yeah.
The venues.
Yep. What else do we need? Yes?
For every product that you have, you also need a PowerPoint presentation of your product.
That is true. So we'll need some sort of marketing collateral, right? How do people know what you guys do?
Promote.
And that's actually a really good point because we have actually a separate module on dealing exactly with just that one thing. What else do we need for this?
The technology, is it a website, is it an app, is it someone calling a phone number, what actually is the structure of it?
Yep, technology.
Yeah.
Website versus app. All right? Yes.
The pros and cons of your product.
Right. That's all in marketing collateral will include pros and cons benefits.
They probably include style too, right? Style.
What do you mean by style?
I guess the talent itself.
Yeah, so that's going to be performers. So performers, style, and actually, that's actually a good point. So when you say style, suppose that I'm doing a Shakespeare play, right? That's going to need a certain kind of performer. But if I'm instead of throwing a dance competition, well, it's going to need another kind of performer. So we need some way of determining who does what. Yes, exactly. Excuse my horrendous handwriting. Yes.
For every product that you create, you also need individuality because you don't want your product coming out just like somebody else.
Right. Differentiation. And differentiation is another good point in marketing.
What about like a scheduling system? Calendar.
Exactly. We do need a council. Like, so, manager A says I got a job. Okay, well, great. And if the job's on Mondays and I got a job on Mondays, I can't do it, right? Okay, so we're gonna stop right there. Obviously, we're gonna create a huge launch of all these features that we need. So the next step is, okay, suppose we're the entrepreneurial team, and we said, okay, you know what? Let's bang our heads together, and this is the list we come up with, right? It's great, fantastic, beautiful product. Now you know what the next step is? We need to talk to someone else, someone not on our team. So why don't we I'm gonna pick on the people in the back of the room who are paying attention so much, and ask them, what do you think about this product and what is missing, right? Because even though we're all really smart people, we're really driven, we believe in this product, this isn't everything, right? Waverly brought out scheduling, that was something that we hadn't had before. If we ask manager A, he's going to say, you know what? I need some way to be able to pay people. So I need some sort of time in the bank, right? We don't have that on this. We would ask, venue B, they're going to say, hey, sometimes I need people the day of. I can't schedule them. Someone gets sick or one of my performers drops. I'm going to need them. I'm going to need a way to reach these people, drop the hat, and get someone to fill a position, right? So, Waverly, yes.
As a performer, I need a way to be able to put my work up on your site so my fans can download it.
What have we missed? Right? One thing. Portfolio. Right? Everyone on here is an artist. Everyone on our platform is an artist, right? They're going to have songs they've sung before. They're going to have music they've written, performances they've done. And that's going to help our managers say, hey, you know what? His style and his profile, that's good stuff. That's what I want for my performance. This other guy, he doesn't quite fit so well. But maybe some other manager will say, hey, this guy's exactly the kind of artist I need. What else, Bernard, what do you think we're missing from this platform?
I'm not sure.
Anybody in the back? Anybody? Yes.
Finance.
Finance. What do you mean by financing?
Someone to help you get a head start of the whole product. If you don't have the money to do it, you need help.
Right.
You need.
Right. That's a capital question, though. That's a little bit separate from the actual product we're building. Right. What do we need to build in this product to make it very useful? Yes.
Do we say expertise or education?
What do you mean?
Don't you need a degree in order to do a lot of this stuff?
Pardon?
Don't you need a degree to do a lot of this stuff? Like to be a performer?
A degree can help.
You guys are mixing up what we need as a company.
Right.
In order to make the product, like money and skills, with what should the product do?
Right.
So, for example, user reviews. What if I want people to be able to review the performers on my platform?
Yes.
You probably want something too, so that like if you're like you said, like it's a Shakespeare play, you can search or filter by like the profile, so that you don't just have to look through everyone.
About more than one service.
Multiple services.
Automatic matchups.
Automation. That's great.
Publicity.
Publicity. Yes, in the back. Sorry, I passed you over. Okay.
What does automatic matchups mean?
Suppose I'm manager A, right? And I'm really, really busy. I'm trying to sell tickets. I'm trying to, manage the, profit and loss of my operation. I'm trying to, manage all my vendors, getting us alcohol and soda and food. I don't have time to spend an hour on this platform searching for the right person. If the platform can tell me, hey, you know what? This guy right here is the guy you want. You'd have the, 90% confidence that he's the guy you want. And this guy's also pretty good, not quite as good as number one, blah, blah, blah. Like that would be very valuable, right? So in the interest of time, we're gonna keep on moving. So the first thing we did is we laid out all the features. The second thing we did was we said, what have we missed? And we said, you know what, we're going to go out to a bunch of different people. You know, friends, you're going to go out to potential customers, you go out to, you know, whoever will talk to you about your idea and see what they think that you're missing, right? And the third thing you're going to do, you're going to say no, right? There's a billion things we can do here. And as it stands, this platform will take us 1,000 years to build. 1,000,000 years ago. You go out and talk to enough people, you'll get so many different ideas, you won't be able to do all of them. You're only one person, you're only one team. So what do we think is absolutely most valuable or most important right now? Right? So reviews probably are really good, right? How do you know who are the really great performers versus the really bad performers, right? If a manager comes onto your platform and they pick someone from your platform and that person, you know, doesn't show up, shows up drunk, you know, destroys property, or somehow not a great employee, well then, you know, they're never going to come back again. So they want to be, you want to be able to provide them with reviews, so, you know, so they know what they're getting. Yes?
I just thought about something that you could use. Like, wouldn't you want someone to have a way, like, to have talent scouts or record labels to be able to access that website or app? In case they might like some of the people that perform, and they can go through their profiles and look at their performances and be able to contact those people, and then those people will have a more permanent job.
Yep.
Correct me.
Yep. What else? So we're going to choose 5 things that we're going to do. Right? What 5 things do we need? Yes.
All goals, just get started. If you just don't get started, that's going to make it so complex that eventually you're going to give up because you're going to be trying to satisfy so many different entities that you're going to be overwhelmed. So
you're absolutely right. And that's why we're going through the process of saying no. Right? We're going to say, hey, you know what? We can do all these things. And maybe in the long term, we're going to put this on a piece of paper, we're going to stick it in the back of our mind, and in the long term, we're going to try and do all these things. Right? But right now, we want to get started tomorrow. Or right now. So we're going to just figure out what the 5 things are we're going to do right now. So yes. 5 things? One of the 5 things.
I feel like in order to start, you need to know how to start. And if you don't have the right materials or tools to start, then you can't forget about all those things.
Right. So what we're going to do first is once we lay out, hey, these are the 5 things we're going to do, then we're going to sit down and say, okay, what do we need to do these 5 things? Right?
You can figure out the website.
Exactly. So I'm going to do this in red. So reviews. The technology, website versus app.
Timo, we need performers and venues.
Exactly. We need
That's kind of the minimum, isn't it?
Right?
Yes.
We need venues.
Yes.
And let's do profiles. Right? Right? So these are the 5 things we're going to do. Right? We're going to figure out how to build our website. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to figure out how to build our website. We are going to figure out a way for people to have profiles and reviews. We're going to figure out a way to get performers and managers on board. Yeah.
But website will be the easiest thing because of the simple fact that you have all these social medias that you can advertise everything on. So you can create your own website off of like a Facebook page and any other things like that.
But so that gets into the next discussion, which is how do we actually get these things done? Right? So even if this is simple, right, we still need to say, website, you know, the actual thing we're going to build, that's number 1. And how we do that, you know, if it's on Facebook, that's great. If we're going to, you know, hire a website service to do it for us, that's also great. There are any number of ways of doing it. We just need to decide, hey, what are we actually going to get done? Right? Okay. So, I wish I had another board, so we can leave this up here, but I don't. So, Jesus.
All right, here, you keep working, I'll make your list.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, you keep working.
All right, so. So, if we think about these things that we've identified as the most important thing. Oh, sorry, you're picking the advantages. Yeah. So we have website, 2, profiles, 3, reviews, 4, performers, 5, managers. Okay. We've agreed that these are the 5 things we need. Okay, and we're going to separate them one by one and say, hey, now that I know I need a website, what do I need to build a website? How do I do this concretely? What are the steps I take?
First you gotta buy like one thing you can buy. You have to search into a domain or something like that.
Domain.
Right.
Exactly. What else do we need for a website? The domain will take care of that. Right? So you're right. We do need copyright, but the domain will be able to domain services. So when you go to buy a domain, you'll go to like GoDaddy or Google or Namecheap, and they'll tell you, oh, sorry, you can't take that name. Someone else has it already. So they'll take care of that for you. Yeah, in the back. You need a design. Exactly. Layout. Yes.
A web designer can do their own cost to make the website.
Right. I mean, I'm not a programmer. If someone else is a programmer out here, you guys can make the website. But I'm not. And if none of us out here can do it, we need to hire some labor, talent. Okay. What else do we need for a website? Yeah. What else do we need to build a website? Branding.
I actually think this is something you need for all of them, but you need like close to the website, you need the photographers and people who take pictures and things to put on the website.
Don't you think the link to get to the website is done?
That's the domain. Got it.
After that, you're just going to add all those things.
Right. So content, which is everything we love. Right? So that will take care of the website, pretty much. Right? A lot of the heavy lifting for the website will be done by the rest of the stuff. Okay. Yes?
You can use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a website that you can, like, I use it for everything. I might have, I have met some CEOs, like great people who mentor me in my business program and everything right on LinkedIn. So,
yep.
It's good at.
You're absolutely right. So LinkedIn can provide, and this kind of goes into the design layout and whether you need a designer or not. Like there's any number, you can use LinkedIn, you can use Facebook, there are any number of ways you can start to create a web presence. And depending on what you use will determine how much expertise in design that you need. But I mean, that's all kind of captured in design and design choices. Okay, when we think about profiles, what do we need to build profiles for this website? Yes.
Contact information, names, references, ratings.
Contacts. Just throw out ideas. I'll be writing them. Names, references. Be loud so I have bad hearing. Ratings. Well, ratings is part of reviews, right?
Resumes.
What kind of performance they do?
Performance time. What else? Pictures! Wonderful! Pictures! Who the hell are you? You can be a journalist, I don't know.
When it comes to profiles, we can like you need a performer to build a profile on. So when performers kind of go under profiles, so you need a performer to put a profile on.
Right, but so suppose a performer wants to come on and build a profile.
Okay.
What kind of information would we say, hey, Mr. Performer, you need to give us these things. What else do we need?
Sample product.
Sample of work. Sample of work.
Bios.
Bio. Wonderful. Okay, that's enough on profiles. Reviews. Okay, when we think about offering a manager the opportunity to review a venue, sorry, to review a performer, or a performer to review a venue, what kind of information do we need to collect?
Location. Size of the audience.
Size of the audience.
The size of the actual stage and everything like that itself.
Stage. Got it.
Something like a
Ticket sales.
something like a census or a better like demographic of the type of people that they use to serve, or like have it. Yeah, like
demographics,
service quality.
What about like a 5-star system?
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah.
Ratings.
We need to allow people to be able to comment on it too. It could be anonymous.
Comments.
I mean, some people get offended. Like, I know me, myself, I'm bad with criticism, and somebody says something bad about me. I'm like, hey, you know, so it's better that you get an option,
Right.
whether you want to put your name or not, you know.
Right. What else do we need for the reviews? Is that it?
Service
How
quality.
will they pay?
How well they pay.
If it's like verbal contractual or an agreement. Oh, well, that would be like
Yeah, I mean, we could take care of any number of things, but you know, we could just say,
I think
you
it'll probably be
know,
more.
employment process. Did they treat me well? Did they tell me? Did they do for me what they were going to do, either for our manager or performer?
Is it reviews on both parts? Are we talking about reviews on both?
We could.
Past performances. As reviews, you can review one of your past. You can have people review one of your past performances.
That's simple work.
All right. Now, performers. What do we need to do to get performers on this platform?
Advertise.
More specifically, concretely, what are we going to do specifically? So if I told you, what basically what I want on this list is I want things on this list where you can just go out there right now and do it. You know exactly what you're going to do, and that's going to get you one performer or two performers.
Audition.
a proposal and like an outlook of like your projected like I would say like how well the organization will actually function. So I'll have something to propose to the performers. Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm saying like, you know, what is something you can do right now? Just go out on the street right now, do
But
it.
I think the man had
You need to have your style.
right? You make a proposal to take to the performers to talk to them.
Yeah,
You also need your
Interesting.
style of performance. You just don't want any performance. You also need a style of performance. You have to have your specific style already planned.
Well, yeah, but that will be taken care of when we have the performing program, right? Right? Yes.
Scout.
Scouts.
Showcase, contract.
Scouts. 3 showcases. Like what specifically? What kind of advertising? What do you think?
Flyers.
Flyers.
It helps to know who else is going to be performing, like who's going to be backing or going before or after.
Word of mouth.
I was going to say, quote unquote, we need clout.
You're gonna need some trainers.
Cloud.
There's even websites that like count
Slash cloud with a K. No, cloud with a K is a real website. That will, yes, in the back. Video applications. So you on the website, once you go on the website, you say, hey, apply here, put in a video, etc. Yes.
Okay, as a performer, I would need to know, do I need to bring my own instruments, or do you provide them for me? Like my microphone, my amplifier, my piano, my guitar. Do I have a stylist? Do I have like a mirror and a vanity dresser?
You need to know, like, endorsement, you need to bring your team members. Some places don't have like engineers. If you don't know what you're doing with like audio equipment, you won't be able to perform.
Right. So equipment and working conditions, right? When I show up at your door, Mr. Venue, what's going to be there waiting for me? Right. Right? Awesome. Now, what do we need to get managers and venues on this platform? Well, no, because I mean, this platform's not selling tickets for managers, right?
No,
We're just saying.
Literally pitch the idea.
Sales? We need a sales force.
Yeah. So someone like pitch the idea that this is going to be a valuable like service, and it's going to like work in there. We need location.
Pardon?
We need location.
We do need locations.
Is said sales what?
Salesforce, right? We need to say, hey, you know what? There are 15 venues on Halsted right here. You know, how am I going to get each one of them on this platform? I can just have one of you walk down the street, like, hey, Mr. Barr, we're awesome. Join our platform. What else?
Target audience.
Sales pitch.
Attitude.
What else? What do you mean by employment?
How to the application to get features.
We can provide the venues with some sort of paperwork that they can automate some paperwork, right, for the employees.
You don't need to narrow things down a bit. So you can find like your target artist. Like, I mean, you're talking about managers and making was where though, like United States, international, Chicago, regional.
Right. Right. So
Start local.
Start local. Yes. Start your own backyard. Yes.
What's not the sales pitch?
Materials. Right. So if I'm gonna send out a bunch of people in a sales force, right? I'm not gonna just say, oh, just knock on doors and talk to them where you could. But it'd be better if you say, hey, Mr. Venue, here's one sheet of paper that'll lay out clearly for you what we do for you, what we do for performers, and why you should get on board with us, right? Here's a contract if you want to sign on the spot. Here are some references that you go to other venues that are on board who love us, right? These are all parts, materials you provide in your sales pitch. Yes.
What do we want to talk to people who already do this? I mean, we're creating a service, but there's people who already do this that don't have a service. You need to do it like person to person. Like, you're a manager on a public relations firm.
Talk to everyone. Ideally, you'll talk to people when in the process of creating this platform. Yes.
I guess filter because like certain venues want certain genres of music. So like you're not gonna put somebody that performs R&B or hip hop in a place with a venue that only does like reggae concerts.
So now we have here a huge list of things that we can do. Even after we narrow down to these 5 things, right? And we thought about what we needed these things to do. We came out with this list. And so now that we've gone through this process, okay, you know what? What's the broader product we want to build? We talked to people, got some new input. We narrowed all that stuff down. And now we have concrete things that we can do to build each of these things with our platform. And so, now that we have this, we can say, you know what? Tomorrow, I'm going to focus on design, right? That's the one thing we get done tomorrow. And then, week after that, I'm going to focus on profiles. What's the design of a profile? What does it look like? I'm going to make sure they have ways of getting all these things. And this is the beginning of how you build your product, right? You've got your ideas, you've fleshed them out, you've talked to people, gotten new features, you've narrowed those features down to a thing that you can execute on in a reasonable amount of time with the resources you have. You've said no to things. And maybe even this list. Maybe you, after you go through this process, you say, hey, holy shit, it's a lot of stuff, right? And then you say, you know what? Maybe reviews, for example. That's something for later, right? I can't do reviews right now. There's way too many things on my plate. So I'm gonna, reviews, awesome, very important. But that's thing number 2. Thing number 1 is website performance analysis. Right? Those are the 3 things. And so this, I said it's a 1, 2, 3 process. It's a cycle, right? Lay out features, talk to people, say no. And then after you say no to all these things, you go back and say, okay, what does this look like? Execute. And once you get those things done, you go back again and say, okay, now that I've executed against this plan, I've done all these things, what's the next step? And that's how you build it. Just go through the process over and over again. What's my ideas? Are they the right ideas? Talk to people, get verification, and then say, you know what? Not these things. Build the things you decide on, and go back to the top. Yes?
You said pick first features?
Pardon?
You said pick first features?
Yeah, so one is layout features. So you have to have some sort of starting point, right? And you say, you know what? these are the, so when we started out, when we took this platform, we said, these are all the things that would be great. Right? You just start somewhere. So you lay out features, and then you're going to talk to a bunch of people and get feedback on that. Hey, look at this idea. What do you think? What do you think? And they're going to tell you, hey, that's great, or hey, this is really crappy. Here's what I would do instead. Right? And you're going to collect all those things. Talk to everyone. And they're going to say no. I talked to 15 people, and here is the 15 pages of feedback I got. And these are great ideas, and they'll come away for later. These ideas don't really make sense to me, so I'm not going to disregard them. But these are the 1, 2, 3 things that I'm going to do right now. And you build, you go back and do it again.
But we picked 5 though, right?
We didn't, so, 3 to 5.
We probably picked too many, right? Okay. So when we broke it all down and started to think about the work we had to do, we probably picked too many. So then Timo said, let's get rid of reviews, right? We're going to concentrate on recruiting performers, recruiting venues, and having them put profiles on a website. Because that is the minimum we need for this platform to create value.
Right.
And once we've got performers and venues creating profiles, we can add reviews. We can add a scheduling system. We can add a payment system. We can add, but we can't do anything until we start. So we got to figure out what are our first features, build those, learn about our business, and then say, okay, what has to be added next? And that's how it grows.
And this goes to your point where you said you just got to start, right? This is a way for us to get to a point where we can start, right? If we just think about a product, we can go any number of ways. You'll get bogged down, you'll get tied up in, hey, would all these things be awesome? If you don't say no, if you don't start paring down to what you can do and start building, then you get the Frankenstein problem.
So once you figure out what you're going to do, we know there's going to be a service for that particular thing. Then the second thing is to talk to everyone. Specifically, I want to find performers and venues because you're the seller and you're the buyer. Everybody else, I don't really care about to tell you the truth for right now because I'm probably get overwhelmed. So after that, then I'll go through all those other stages. But by that time, I'll probably have a team because that stuff gets complex.
Yep.
For one person, that's just too much to do. Then you figure out who's gonna get paid for what. If you're just the middleman, you probably charge I don't know. You're really the manager, because that's what the manager does. So if you create a website or an app for it, you'll be like the manager basically, and then you just have to charge, I don't know, 5% or you do it for free for so long until it gets popular, and then you tag on a fee.
Yep.